Come to the front of the room if you're not surprised. We already knew this, didn't we? Listen, this country not only does not want women in leadership, they sure as hell don't want black, educated, strong, powerful black women in leadership. This is the country that would choose a middle school teacher, nothing wrong with that, over an attorney, a state leader over a U.S. federal leader. Building your own is the only way out. It's the only solution. Our brilliance cannot continue to be owned by institutions and systems that don't respect our authority, our education, our experience, our expertise, and our power. I don't know how many times I gotta tell y'all. Consulting is the number one business startup in 2026. And if you're a woman, especially a black, powerful woman, over the age of 40, with credentials, I promise you, you have amassed knowledge, intellectual capital that is worth a lot of money. You need to learn the system of consulting so you can monetize that intellectual capital into a consultant offer. Build your consulting business so that organizations and premium clients can finally pay you your worth. And we can stop begging this country to respect us or invite us to the table. We can build our own tables. There's a link in my bio. If you're ready to take your intellectual capital and turn it into a six-figure consulting company, register now for Lead Like a CEO. I'll see you at the live event.
Okay, so that was a lot. So a couple questions. What is your first thought about the fact that Jasmine Crockett lost to the Jasmine Tallarico guy running for Senate in the Democrat primary?
Like, what do I think of, like,
Yeah,
that she lost?
Yeah, you think about it. What do you think that means?
That she just didn't win.
Lost. So you don't think it has anything to do with, like, that she's a black woman?
No.
No? Okay. Well, let me ask you this. She was out a lot. They put her on a lot. You know, she's on a lot of TV shows. She did a lot of hits in Congress. They play a lot of her stuff. And let's just be honest, she was pumped up, hyped up, and the black community certainly came out and made it seem like if you ever said anything bad or didn't support Jasmine Crockett, you were terrible. And the Democrats are constantly telling us that, you know, anytime someone black doesn't win something, it's because the Republicans being racist. So the Democrat primary didn't pick Jasmine. So nothing to do with being black, right?
No.
No? You sure? Because Democrats say, like, when black women don't get picked, like, it's a race thing. Okay. All right. Just making sure you don't think so. So I often talk to you about, we talk about Jasmine, we talk about other people, and I often talk to you guys about black people in leadership, especially particularly in the Democrat Party. And I, like your sister, you're so hard on your mom. You're hard on black. Why are you so hard on black? Why don't you? You're talking about black women instead of like white women or saying, well, what do I have?
Daughters
and what color do you guys happen to be?
Black.
Yeah. Yeah. So what interests me is what my daughters may have to face as they're growing up in life and they want to do something, right? And this other nice African American lady, what do you think about what she had to say about how you black women just you don't have a chance? Ain't nothing you can do, man.
I don't really think she was right about what she said, because she was saying that she didn't. Jasmine didn't get voted picked just because she was black and she was a woman, but maybe they just didn't want to pick her because some of the ideas they didn't like what she had. So I don't like.
Would you have voted for Jasmine?
No, I probably wouldn't have voted at all.
I was about to say you don't really know about the other guy. We'll get into the other guy. Here's a crazy thing, and you know me. I would much rather Jasmine Crockett win it than that guy. That guy is got some weird stuff, man. Yeah, he says some
Because
weird
at
stuff.
the beginning you were like, it's a weird guy, and then I saw someone, I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, He's one of those, you know, we talk sometimes about the Bible and like how now it seems like a new thing is because they were saying being Christian was racist, is a white racist thing. Democrats were now it's like, no, no, no. We believe in God too, except God doesn't mind homosexuality. And like he doesn't mind sin. And you know, God was an illegal alien. So we should let all the illegal aliens come. I think his quote was we should treat our border like our home and put a welcome mat on it. Our border is next to Mexico. That's literally full of cartels fighting the government right now. He wants us to put a welcome mat on the border. Um, but the big thing, like I said, primarily why I talked to you guys about is my biggest fear is for you to ever grow up thinking like that. Thinking that you are not going to be able to be successful and that if you do hard work and you achieve things, that means you will never be able to accomplish. No, it's not just that, right? Like, yeah, you can go get degrees, and we see all kind of people with degrees. There are people who I grew up with that had master's degrees, and I ended up dropping out of college, having a baby, and getting a job at Walmart, making six figures, and having to help them find jobs. But if we looked at paper, like all these people were much more qualified than me, but I was actually better and just good at work and I actually could handle myself well and handle situations and lots of information. So it wasn't about whether or not I could go to school and sit in class and I did my work, which I didn't. I wasn't a great student. I got good grades, but I wasn't a good student.
I know.
Yeah, okay. All right, just making sure.
Pretty
Um,
obvious.
let's just say pretty obvious. I got all A's and B's. I just didn't do any of the work and stuff. Um, so that's my deal, though, baby. That is the biggest thing, and I need you and your sister too, if she ever wants to listen to me. But you can't think like this, and this is what they're doing. They're putting this on TV. They're promoting it. They're putting it on social media. There are black women look just like you, probably successful, doing some strong things that are saying, "Hey, you got to do all these amazing things." And then I would just tell you, you never have to look far to see an example of someone who can achieve great things and be successful in life as a black woman who doesn't have a laundry list of great accomplishments, who maybe his life started off, you know, in a poor situation, and maybe they ended up on drugs themselves, on crack, then had babies. And now all of a sudden they're doing pretty well as a black woman.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking about my mom. Yeah. So yeah, that when I think of black women and what they're capable of and what they can achieve, I think of my mom. I don't think of any woman that maybe didn't get a position or failed or something to go, oh, look at how black women can be. No. How can I possibly think that? How can I think that? I was a crack baby. I'm on crack now. She is, well, it doesn't matter. I ain't going to say details, but she does pretty well enough that after I was hit by a drunk driver, me and my 8 kids are sitting up in her house, just taking care of us as I heal. A black woman. So hey, I don't know. I don't know her name. Whatever her name is, doctor. That's a doctor, maybe some type of doctor of some sort. But for as much as she think black women can't, trust me, I know they can, and that's why I would never allow you or your sister to walk around thinking, "Oh, my black skin, I gotta." No. Show up, do the work, and you'll get your opportunities. Boohoo, whining and crying. If my mom had it opportunity, if my mom did that in life, I don't think I'd be sitting here talking to you right now. If on her path she went, man, it's so hard being a black woman. I just give up. Forget it. Now I will say at the end, she did talk about some type of consulting firm or something, which yeah, good. I have no problem with that. It's just everything before she said that was just low energy, disgusting, like boohoo, everybody's racist, and that's why I can't be successful stuff. Which none of that.